it's a sad day. Spring ball's winding down. But I thought the kids were good today. I liked it and appreciated that from them. And, get one more opportunity Saturday. And for Saturday's plan, what we're going to do, we get about an hour and 15 minutes worth of scrimmaging, and kind of see how we came out of this. A couple positions were a little bit dinged up, so we'll do some individual, do some one-on-ones, some competition things the first part of the 2-hour window, and then we'll finish. I'm excited to see some of the young guys play and be in games type situations and go, and I think we get some work with some of the guys that play a lot. So Saturday will be a good day. But we really have, overall, I've appreciated what these guys have done and the approach to spring practice. And like I told the team, we're not where we need to be for fall, but they've done a heck of a job this spring. And we get one more opportunity to finish it off.
Obviously, you got some guys who are hurt, not going to participate. But a guy like Corey, is he even going to do much live stuff? Or?
Probably not a ton of live stuff, but I think with you guys would know it, similar to the way like some of those scrimmage days have gone, where we can still get some work with guys that have played a lot of football, but I think they can still use the practice, but don't need the game situation as much.
This is totally off topic, but Dario Wale, whatever his role is next year on the field, what's his value to the team? What has it become over time since you've been here?
Since I've been here, Dario's value is huge to this team, and I think that as you go through, you have a transition each year of seniors leaving, and I think obviously it wasn't necessarily this year at this time. Last year at this time, we wouldn't have been saying Dario was going to be what he was for us in the season. And I think he's done a great job of taking those experiences, and people respect what he's done. And he's clearly emerged as one of the true leaders of this team. And I think there's a ton of qualities off the field that are big time about him, but I think on the field, people respect his work, his willingness to do anything for the team, and his competitiveness, and on top of that, I think he's got a skill set that can really add value.
What about off the field that fans don't normally see?
Dario's consistent. Dario's, I think he spends time getting to know guys so that he cuts through some layers, and therefore I think that enables you to shoot him straight, and he holds himself accountable. So therefore I think when he's not asking one person to do something that he doesn't do in champion.
It's a couple weeks old now, but the satellite camp ban, what is your take on that?
Well, it's I see the value in giving opportunities, and I think that does provide more opportunities. The one thing that's happening with recruiting is you're having to get kids on campus. There's an expense to people, so I think the concept of if you can go to them, it's good. I think if you go big picture and it's opportunity for student athletes, those are good things. And I think where where we can take a look at it is it's under one form of legislation, which is camp, and yet it's probably as much of a recruiting. So I think if you can separate the two, the concept of it, it's pretty neat. Where you can provide more opportunities, or kids in a region can get maybe more opportunities than just a regional base.
Some people some teams for the spring game make 2 separate teams to scrimmage. I'm guessing you're just not going to do that. Just go ones versus ones.
Yeah, I think with where we're at with depth at certain positions, we're better off. Otherwise, you'd be taking jerseys and switching them and flipping them, and for what, I don't know. The value is for our players to be able to play in front of a crowd, and to our players, especially our young players, it's a different atmosphere than the 14 practices we've had. And so we'll, at some point you're going offense versus defense, so that's what we're going to do with the jersey colors.
What positions are you most concerned about with depth? The receiver one?
Yeah, receivers one, offensive line at some positions within it, and defensive back a little bit. So receivers the big one right now, driving them, and running back. If you take Corey and Dario out of the mix, you got 2, which is good for them. And but that can be a lot on them for a 2-hour window.
Well, you talked last year about getting to know these guys once you got here and getting to know how you could push them and prod them in that. Where do Leonard and Wilcox stand in that process right now? Because they've got a tall task to get people to get up and running.
Yeah, and I think I just know how I feel now compared to last year, and I truly believe you're a better coach when you know them. Now, I think the one thing that's helped is the personalities of Justin and Jimmy. I think that's right in their wheelhouse.
Okay.
So I think they can accelerate it to a point, and I think that was one of the values that we knew going into spring ball, and what they found out is who are they on the field, how do they learn, and so I think that I'm a year ahead of those two, and I hope I keep really learning them, and so it's a process, but I think those two have shortened the curve because of the styles, and I think they're approachable. I think they value teaching, and I think they have great knowledge base, so players like going to them and want to go to them because they can help.
I know Jim played a lot, and I know he didn't coach until he got here, but what have you noticed in him as a coach to this date?
It was, I noticed the first day, and he was doing a drill today where I noticed that he has the ability to break it down and to get you to focus on the purpose and not putting too much. He's not trying to impress others with the amount of knowledge.
Sure.
I think he does a great job of picking out great coaching points that a kid can focus on. And then in a meeting setting, he can go very detailed. When you have time, you can ask questions. So I think he's got a great knack of being able to give 1 or 2 coaching points that the kids understand, and then has follow-up in the drills that you can reinforce that. And I think that's where his experience, not as a coach, but being around it, helps him. But he's a great communicator.
Do you guys like what you've seen from Brett Connors?
Yeah, Brett, I've appreciated Brett. The way that he works, there's a guy that does a number of different things for us, and he's a young offensive lineman, and he's continuing to improve because it's important to him. He takes coaching, and so I've enjoyed getting to know and being around Brett. Certainly, I think he's going to be able to provide us, and needs to, but is capable of providing us with depth, which we all know is huge.
You're not going to have live kicking playing this out here.
No, correct, yeah. We'll do the like field goal PATs, kind of if the drive allows it. Similar, we did that last year, I think.
What has to happen on Saturday for you to consider it a successful spring game?
Nobody gets hurt and it looks like football.
No memories of 2002? Remember that? See?
Oh yeah, I remember all of them. There was some different motives in some of those spring games. It all worked. All right, thanks.